should assume, I guess, that he is a heavy-handed fighter. As well as that, the other fights on the bill, an excellent looking square-up for the vacant WBO Intercontinental welterweight title between Gary Corcoran of Wembley, who's got the one defeat on his record against Liam Williams, up against a very slippery opponent from Stoke Newington, challenging for his title. That is Larry Akindeo, who's undefeated, Nigerian-born fighter, undefeated in 12 fights. Add to that Southern Area Super Welterweight title between the champion Asinia Byfield from Reading, 12 wins and the one defeat, and against a very talented up-and-coming fighter from Hornchurch, undefeated in 7 fights, that's Sam McNess. We've got a little bit of a rematch, which is going to be an interesting event, I think. We saw a great fight in Leicester back in April between Jermaine Smile, Leicester lad, against Darryl Williams, who's from Forest Hill down here in London. English super middleweight title on the line. First time they fought, it was Darryl who got home by a narrow points verdict. So this time it's going to be, is it repeat, is it going to be revenge? And I'm sure it's going to be another great fight. And I guess the biggest fight in terms of achievement on this bill, looking to take the welterweight title, the Lonsdale belt outright, Bradley Skeet defending his British title once again against the Welshman Dale Evans from St Clears in Wales, and Bradley, who called out, I know, Manny Pacquiao before Saturday's fight against Jeff Horn, and a few people sort of said, "Are you mad?" when he said he could have beaten Manny Pacquiao. I think a few people might have looked at Saturday's fight between those two and think, oh yeah, Bradley might have given a very good account of himself indeed. Anyway, the future is now. It's going to be an excellent show, I think. Frank, give us a few words about what you make of it all.
Oh, it's a great fight. You know, for Bradley, it's always been his ambition to win the Lonsdale belt. So we'll see if that happens on Saturday. Dale Evans, obviously, the old cliche I use is he's not here to make up the numbers. He's coming to fight, so he's got a tough fight in his hands. If he comes through it, I think he'll move up to probably about number 2 in the WBO rankings, and so he could possibly get a shot at Jeff Horn, unless they do the rematch. He could get a shot at him within the next 9 months, and that's what we'd be working on, because you know, we would have probably tried to make that for the Commonwealth title, and nobody would have thought anything about it. You know, what I mean by that, no one would have said, "Oh, that's a tough fight." But you look at Horn and the way he gritted his teeth and what he did on Saturday. You know, he proved that Manny Pacquiao was there to be beaten. You know, on that 10th round, Manny became an old man. Yeah. And as we all know, he won the fight. I thought he won the fight by 2 or 3 rounds. So if we can make that fight, I'd be delighted. And I know Bradley, once he's got, it's not a foregone conclusion, but if he gets that Lonsdale belt, that's what he'll be looking for. And obviously Dale's here to try and upset the apple cart and put himself in his position. So he's got it all to go for.
And some more terrific fights on paper anyway, and some brilliant young prospects looking to showcase their talents on Saturday night.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've not, I'm not saying we're pushing them fast, but we're not, you know, I've got confidence in both Anthony and in Daniel. I've got excellent. They're excellent fighters, and I have a lot of confidence they're going to go on to be something special. But they've got tough fights. Anthony's fighting for the WBO European Light Heavyweight Championship against Richard Bariani, who's 18 and 1. He's from Hungary. You know, that's a tough fight at this stage of his career. He's had 11 fights. This will be his 12th, and I think it's 12 as an amateur. So in his whole career, he's had 23 fights, and to get where he's at and to show the skills he's got at the moment is phenomenal. And if he wins this, he'll get into the WBO top 10, and that's really what it's all about. And it'll be a great experience for him. And obviously, if he comes through, that we can move on and look on to bigger and better things. Him and Tunde is a fantastic team. They work hard together, and I think up to now in the ring, you've seen no results, and that relationship. And I like to feel I'm part of that as well as coming really good. So Saturday night, it's a tough fight for him, a big ask for him, but I have absolute confidence in him, and I'm quite sure he can do it.
And Daniel, 3 victories so far, looking so far every inch the potential superstar that you've built him up as.
Well, you know, he's a teenager. He's 19 years of age, 3 fights. He's looked very good in his 3 fights, and he would do at this stage of his career. You know, you would expect that. And Martin Bowers has done it. Is doing, you know, and him are building a good understanding. They're a good team, and what I like about Daniel, when you see him in the ring, despite that they've only been brief appearances, is his composure and the way he goes about his work. And I think that's obviously been translated from what he does in the gym. You know, to be having a 10-round fight for a heavyweight in a teenager is a big ask. And but I do believe he can do it. And unfortunately, he lost the opponent, Julian Fernandez from Mexico, who was fighting him, who's undefeated. He's now fighting this Mauricio Bartagan from Uruguay. It's a last-minute substitute, and that's, you know, he's a better opponent. He's got a tougher opponent, but I do believe in him, and I know he's got tremendous self-belief in himself, and you know, I feel that he has the ability to kick on, to move very quickly through the division. You know, I don't want to, I say do not rush fighters or push fighters. I sometimes get accused of being a bit too careful, but I do believe that Daniel's capable of this, as I do with Anthony. So for me, they're 2 exceptional fighters. They're 2 exceptional athletes. You look at them; they're in condition. They don't get out of condition in between fights. They always look good. They respect themselves. They respect the sport. And I think they're great for British boxing. And for me, they're the standard bearers, or 2 of the standard bearers of our promotional outfit, and certainly at BT Sport and Box Nation.
Right, well, we'll hear from the 2 lads and some of the other names on the bill in a moment, but let's just start off with the rematch of what for me was one of the fights of the year in April. Not a lot of love lost on that occasion before the fight between Jermaine Smile of Leicester, who probably went into that fight as the favourite. Darryl Williams didn't read the script, kept in his face for a full 12 rounds and managed to come out of it with the English title at the end of it. Well, tonight, or rather on Saturday night, there's going to be the rematch. Start with the champion, Darryl. How does it feel to be referred to as the champion, first of all?
15-0 champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels well. Yeah, it feels great. What can I say? You know, I probably, as you lot said, you know, I probably doubted, you know, wasn't going to win it, but we went in there, we did what we needed to do, and I'm the champ, and it's going to stay like that.
What do you reckon, Jermaine? Did you get your tactics wrong? Is it going to be a question of putting different things into the ring now?
I don't think so. It's gonna be more intense. I hope he's trained well. I hope he's prepared well, because he's gonna need to have. I mean, I'm just gonna bring it to him. I mean, so hope he's ready.
Where did that get you last time, mate? Where did that get you last time? You tried to bring it. Where did it get you last time, brother?
I actually feel like I won the fight. I
bet you do, mate. I bet you do. That's how Mackenzie as well. That's how Leon.
Same thing sometimes, but you know what? I just hope he's trained well, and I hope he's prepared well. So yeah, we'll see how it goes on Saturday. I'm very confident that I'm gonna beat him.
Yeah. You said that last time.
Yeah.
You said that last time.
Well, it's going to be a terrific fight. I think of that we can be absolutely sure. It was one of the best domestic touch-up we've seen for a while.
It was, and it's certainly up there this year for nominated to be one of the best domestic fights. I mean, you could stick it on, again, it's the old cliche, you could put this fight on in a phone box. These guys are going to come to fight. They're no quarter given, none asked for, and you know what they are. They're 2 confident young men who, and this time, you know, Jermaine's going into Darryl's backyard. You know, Darryl went up there last time, so there's going to be a fantastic atmosphere there. We've sold a lot of tickets, so it's going to be hotter than July in there.
As I said first time around, I don't think you 2 guys are on each other's Christmas card list at the moment, are you? There's not a lot of love lost.
You're mine. Sorry? You're my card. I'm on your Christmas card.
Darryl, what do you think about it now? A bit more respect than you had 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
No, there's no respect there, you know. I'll tell you how it is. I'll tell you how it is, you know. behind all the little tattoos and all the big bench presses and all the weights, under all of that, he's soft. I saw it. He was shaking. Before that bell, when he was shaking, I saw it. You're soft, big boy. You're not art. It's all pretend. It's all false.
Okay.
You know it is.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
That's why you lost last time. You're scared.
Okay. You me and you both shared the ring. You know
Yeah,
that.
we already
you
have,
know,
and I beat you.
You know that's the toughest fight you've ever had.
No, it wasn't.
You know that's the toughest fight you've ever had.
Listen, you fought a man.
Like, you can't deny that.
You fought a man on antibiotics, big boy. You fought a man on antibiotics with ear infection
Whatever.
that passed out in the gym 2 weeks before. Ask my trainer. Ask him. He'll tell you.
We're not here to make
Ask
excuses.
him.
We're not here to make
You fought a man at 30%,
We're not here to make excuses.
and you still lost. I didn't make an excuse. I beat you. I didn't make an excuse. I beat you. I still beat you. No one thought I was gonna win. I didn't think I was gonna win.
Don't know when you're gonna beat me is by knocking me out.
I'll knock you out, brother. Don't worry about that. I'll knock you out, brother. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Okay, well, you've heard it. moving on.
See it.
Absolutely. Moving on to the welterweight contest. Another equally fascinating sort of clash of styles, if you like. Gary Corcoran against Larry Ukundeo. Let's start with Gary on this one. It's the vacant WBO Intercontinental welterweight title. You back down at welterweight, having fought at light middle, or super welter as we have to call it nowadays. Before that, you've had one contest back at welter. How happy do you feel fighting at 10-7?
Yeah, very happy fighting at 10-7. I should have always been 10-7. I have always eaten what I want in the night, doing what I want. So, but now we just change it a little bit around, and it's going to work a lot better for me.
Now, what about Larry? Because he's got this reputation of being an extremely slippery and awkward customer.
Yeah, I could deal with that style. It doesn't matter. I've dealt with it before. I'll be honest. I've dealt with more awkward fighters than him before, so we can't deal with that. We should not be boxing.
Give us an idea of some of the guys who you've actually shared time in the ring with, sparring, who you'd regard as awkward, who you've coped with.
I sparred Bradley, I sparred Frankie Gavin, I sparred Kel Brook. I beat Rick Skelton, he was an awkward fighter, beat him. I've sparred a lot. I can't name all of them because there's a lot.
Let's bring Larry in. You've undefeated, Nigerian born, great amateur record. Are you going to be able to bring something to Gary that he's not seen before?
I'm not sure. We'll see on Saturday, but all I know is I'm winning.
What would it mean to you to put him in his place, if you like, for want of a better word?
It will mean a lot to me because this will put me my career back on track and get the respect that I deserve.
What do you mean by that? Do you think you don't get the respect you deserve at the moment?
Sometimes I get a lot of people saying I'm overrated, and it's just good to actually show. I would like to say thank you to the Warren team that I'll be able to showcase my talent on Box Nation and BT Sports, so people we actually see what I'm made of, rather than hearing from other people and they've never seen me because I haven't got the platform. But right here, I'm going to be showing that on Saturday.
Once again, Frank, this is the sort of fight which, as your matchmaker puts together and we show on BT Sport and Box Nation, this is a clash of styles, or a blend of styles, if you like, which on the face of it looks as though it's going to be a fascinating fight.
It is, it's a pick-'em. And, you know, Gary has worked with us for a long, long time, and he's never, you know, whatever fight we offered him, he's taken it. He's never backed down from anything, and it's been interesting to see how he copes now in this weight division. You know he's a competitor. You know he comes to fight. He's only got one loss in his career, 16 wins. And Larry, you know, I've seen some of his fights on film, and he is slippery. And he's got a good boxing brain, and he's got a big stage now to go and show what he's got. So between these two guys, I think we're going to get a great fight. It's a very even money fight.
Sam McNess and Asinia Byfield. Asinia, the Southern Area Super Welterweight Champion. Sam McNess, I guess it represents a bit of a step up in class, this one, doesn't it, Sam? Undefeated in 7 fights, but this is kind of the first big one.
Yeah, it's the first big fight for me so far, but I've had a good amateur career and I believe I'm ready to be stepped up. You look at a lot of the young prospects that are winning titles at the moment, a lot of them are good fighters that were on the GB team. You look at fighters like Charlie Edwards, British champion, he's only had about 8 fights.
A lot of them have had padded records, I might add.
Sorry?
A lot of them have had padded records, I might add.
Padded records, okay.
Like
Well,
yours.
we'll see on Saturday.
Like your padded record.
We'll
yeah?
see on Saturday.
Yeah, like yours.
We'll see, yeah, we'll see on Saturday.
Do you think he's got a padded record then, do you, Senior? Do you think this is too soon for him, coming in against somebody like you?
It's just too soon. Like, you look at his paperwork, you look at the paperwork, it's obviously too soon. Someone's messed up somewhere, and they're going to get exposed on it. He was probably better off just staying padded, really. He could have been British champion probably like, what, 2 months, 3 months? Fought no one? Eh?
Is that what you think, yeah?
Well, it's obviously what I think. When was the last tough fight you had?
I've not had no tough fights as a pro, and I'm not going to have no tough
so
fights on Saturday either.
when was the last tough fight you had as an amateur?
When was the last tough fight you had?
Let me hear, when's your last tough
I'm
fight?
asking you
Don't
now.
try and dodge the question.
I'm not, as an amateur,
Oh, you can't answer
I
it.
fought world champions,
Okay.
Olympic champions.
And when was that,
European
what, 5 years
champions.
ago, 6 years ago,
No,
what,
mate.
longer?
When I first turned pro, that was 2 years ago, so around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you done what? Who did you fight around then?
Olympic champions,
Who?
world
When?
champions,
When?
European
How
champions.
old was you? Was you a junior?
No, junior, senior.
Yeah.
In Kazakhstan, fighting a world champion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have
You've
to-
not done your research.
Yeah, I have to do a little bit more.
You have to do it more, yeah.
Maybe just a tiny bit.
Definitely.
Senior, what do you regard as your best performance? Beating Eric Ochieng to win the title?
With Eric, he was very awkward, so he was like, I had to learn a lot when I was fighting him. I had to adjust a lot, basically. I wouldn't say it was the hardest fight. It probably was Arthur Herman. And yeah, it's a different thing because all of his good fights he's had, it was all when he was an amateur. Now he's a professional. He's going to be in there against people just going to be coming to take his head off. At the moment, he's fought 6, 7 journeymen. He's probably stopped like 2 or 3 of them. Half of them ain't even trying to even win the fight. So yeah, he's definitely stepping up against the wrong person anyway, 100%.
Anything to add, Sam?
You're talking about journeyman. I watched a video about a month ago of Mickey Elliott, and he was saying when you first turned pro, he thought you'd make a good journeyman. If Frank was saying that about me, I'd be disgusted if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, because how it works is, obviously you've got a big following, so you've got like a whole of West Ham, so you've got a lot of big fan base. People like me, I'm from the hood, like I'm from the gutter, I'm not from where you're from.
Okay.
This is like 2 different worlds, colliding, and that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, it's calm. It's calm, you'll see, innit?
You've never been to East London, obviously.
Yeah, of course I've been East London, of course, man. That's calm. I walk through there with my freaking trousers down, but that's nothing. Yeah?
Well, that's another one which is going to be interesting, isn't it? I'm sure we'll have a few questions to be thrown in at the guys in a moment or two. But before then, let's now just look at the British welterweight title fight. Bradley Skeet against Dale Evans. And we'll start with Dale first, who's going to be challenging Bradley. You've obviously seen an awful lot of him, Dale, and you must have a lot of respect.
Yeah, the respect's here. I've got, there's no bad blood between myself and Bradley, or no bad mouthing on social media. He's a good fighter, and that's why he holds the belts that he does. But come Saturday night, my plan is to take that off him.
Steve Singleton managed to wind him up a little bit, talking of social media in the last contest. Have you been trying a little bit of that?
No, like I said, sometimes people get caught up in it, but sometimes you can't hold yourself back. But there's been chances where I could have jumped on it, but it's just a distraction more than anything. But no, I haven't got caught up in it.
Just before we hear from Bradley, tell us a little bit about what this fight would mean to you if you were to win it, because I know obviously people here will probably know, but if you don't know, Dale went in against Mike Towell last year, who died the day after their fight last September, and clearly has had to come through a lot of personal trauma. So how important to you is actually just being in there and fighting in a big fight on Saturday night?
Yeah, it did mean the world to me, and not only myself. I had to pick myself back up, and I said that I'd go on to win the British title not only for myself but for Mike Towell and family too, and if I could do that, it'd mean the world to myself and obviously fans of Mike Towell and family.
I did hear that some of Mike's family might be there on Saturday night. Is that correct?
I think there's a handful of them coming down. I'm not sure family, but I know there's a lot of Mike Towell fans coming down from Scotland, which is, it's fantastic. It's really nice of them to come and support me.
So before we hear from Bradley, do you think he's in for a bit of a shock on Saturday night, or?
I think I have been overlooked, but Bradley being holding 7 different belts, he's obviously going to be confident. But I've prepared. I had 4 weeks' notice for this. It might not seem long to other fighters, but to me that's a lengthy camp for me. And my last British title shot, I had 10 days' notice. But I definitely think he's overlooked me talking, of Pacquiao before the weekend. Now it's Jeff Horn. I think I will shock a few people on Saturday night.
Bradley, give us your reaction to that. Are you going to be caught on the hop? Will you have underestimated him?
Definitely not. No way. No way. The British title has been my ambition from a kid growing up, not just to win it, but to win it outright. This is my last defence on Saturday. It's my 3rd defence on Saturday to win it outright, and I respect Dow as a fighter. He went through the tragedy of obviously Mike Towell dying after he boxed him, and that's what made him mandatory, and that was a long time ago. That was probably over a year, I think now, and he's waited his time. He's waited patiently. He ain't bad-mouthed me. He's like other people, and he's the deserving challenger. He's a tough fighter. But all this talk about overlooking him, no way. I need to clear up domestically before I even think about Pacquiao's and Jeff Horns and people like that. Yeah, I've got hopes and dreams of fighting for a world title. I wouldn't be boxing if I didn't. I want to be a world champion one day, so of course I'm going to be talking about it. I'm ranked number 3 with the WBO, so obviously I'm going to be talking about being a world champion. I'm nearly there, and yeah, I just can't wait to get this done on Saturday and then finally move on.
How pleased were you with your last victory? Because it kind of showed a little bit a different side of Bradley Skeet. I remember early in your career, people said, "Oh, he's too nice. He doesn't really punch. He's got a nice style, but has he got that real instinct to take somebody out?" But I guess you kind of showed that.
Yeah, I think my last performance was one of my best to date. I just keep proving these doubters wrong. They can think I can't punch, but it's just proving them wrong. Yeah, Saturday night I'll be proving them wrong again.
Frank's talked about a 9-month window maybe, and perhaps at the end of that or within that time, if you can come through this, a world title shot. Do you think you're ready for that?
Definitely. You say in my 9-month time, my fight before the Shane Singleton fight, I didn't box for 6 months. I had a long camp, and then dealt with him. This fight come about, and I've been straight. I had 3 days off. I've been straight back in the gym, so I'm flying at the minute. I'm always in the gym. I'm ready to fight whenever, and Frank knows that. I'm always in the gym. I'm ready to go. So I'm flying at the minute. So after this one, then I'll be in the. I'm gonna have a break finally, but I'll have a little bit of break, enjoy the summer, and then I'll be ready to step up to world level.
If you're.
When are we?
If.
We will see. We will see. All to be proven one way or the other on Saturday night. Right. Let's turn our attention now to the top table. And first of all, the young man in the white shirt to my left, Daniel Dubois, undefeated now in 3 fights. Obvious question: how much are you enjoying the world of professional boxing?
I'm enjoying it very much. I'm working hard in the gym every day and just preparing for each fight as it comes and building my profile as a fighter. And yeah, I'm looking forward to my next fight.
You're quite a quiet lad. You're not one to walk around bragging, giving the big I am. Are you starting to notice that the public are noticing you and changing the way they think about you and the way they approach you?
Definitely. Through this BT Sport and Frank Warren Promotions, there's people coming up to me on the street and saying, I know you're that kid Daniel Dubois, that guy's knocking out people on TV, and it's good. It builds my profile as a fighter, and I enjoy it.
Are you surprising yourself at all with how comfortably you seem to be adapting?
Not really, but I always knew I was ready for it. I was made for this pro game, and that I'd do well in it. And I'm just building and improving as a fighter day by day, and working hard.
Are you ready for a 10-rounder? Are you ready to go the longer distance?
Definitely. I've been this last couple of weeks. I've been getting top quality sparring, good rounds with prospects themselves, and it's been competitive. And I'm ready for 10 rounds or whatever.
And a late change of opponent, is that a worry? The Uruguayan guy who's coming in to fight you?
No, I'm ready for whoever on Saturday, and I'm just looking forward to performing.
Let's just give us your thoughts about Nathan, who we heard earlier on saying that he's done a deal with Frank, and Ricky and Frank have got together and put together a deal for Nathan to be fighting under the Frank Warren and BT Sport banner. Would you give us an idea of what you think of him as a fighter?
Yeah, Nathan, he's an upcoming prospect, like myself, and he's looking to go far in the game, and I'm sure he will do pretty well. He's doing well so far, and it's good for boxing. It's good for me. You need competition in this game, and it makes great fights in the future. And you never know what this is boxing. Anything can happen.
Yeah, possible fight between the pair of you before too long. You never know.
No.
You faced him in the gym. Who got the better of it in sparring, or is that going to stay a secret?
We did numerous rounds then. I'm twice the fighter I was then now, and maybe in the future we'll get to know and see.
We will see. Good luck on Saturday night, and we'll finish with my bit up here with Anthony, who's fighting Richard Barani. Again, Anthony stepping up to 10 rounds, first time for a professional title. Excited about it?
Yeah, I'm always excited. Boxing's what I do. It's what I live. So it's always exciting to go out there in front of your home crowd in Stratford and put on a show.
There's going to be a big following for you here, isn't there? This is kind of home turf.
Home turf.
How many do you reckon are going to be coming down cheering you on?
Not sure yet. There's a lot of people that have got tickets from me already. A lot more are saying they're still going to get tickets, but that's not really something I focus on. I focus on going in the ring and doing what I need to do.
Have you been able to see anything of Richard? Have you been able to watch him, and do you know what you're going to be expecting?
I'm just expecting a tough opponent. He's a champion. He's not a champion for no reason. He's got more knockouts in his record than I've had fights. So, again, I'm not sure of his amateur record or nothing like that, but I don't take no opponent lightly. Chris Holmes, when I fought him, I didn't care about his record, didn't take him lightly. My other opponents didn't take them lightly. And I feel like the results that he got so far, that shows it. So I haven't watched him. I think that's down to like Tunde. I don't really like watching people I'm fighting. If anyone needs to worry, I think it's the opponent that I'm fighting. So I don't really feel like I need to actually watch any opponent. We get in the ring, because you know they could be boxing one person, that person ain't me. So it's not really the same ballgame.
Chris Hobbs said to me that it wasn't so much your strength, which he said you obviously are a very strong man, but he said he was impressed with your boxing ability and your accuracy. Is that something which is good to hear?
Well, I think that's what a lot of people, that they don't know about me, because some of my fights have gone short distance. But when you stand in front of somebody and you're boxing, everything's different. The look's different, the angles are different, the way people throw their punches are different. And when you can't hit somebody, it's frustrating.
And how about the 10-rounder? Are you ready for the longer distance?
If it gets to that, I'm ready.
If it gets to that, do you anticipate that it might not get to that? Because you've got this amazing, so you're developing this fantastic reputation as a banger, as a puncher, as a knockout guy.
Well, you know, this is why it's an exciting fight. As I said, he's got more knockouts in his record than I've had fights. And I've had 11 fights and 10 knockouts. So it's one of them fights you have to tune into BT Sports and Box Nation and enjoy the fight.
Frank's talked about you in the same breath, in the same sentence as Nigel Benn, who was one of our great hero champions of years gone by. I mean, do you like that comparison?
It's I can say an honour to be compared to someone like Nigel Benn, but we're not the same person, we're not the same fighter. The only thing we probably do have in common is that we can both punt, but he's accomplished so much in the sport, so I can't really compare myself to anyone like that until I get to the point where he actually got to.
Early days yet, you never know.
Very early days.
Right, questions from the floor. Any of you guys want to fire anything up to any of the fighters here in front of you? Anybody? Yeah.
There's a question for both Jermaine and Daryl, if you can please. When two guys go to the war like you did, and a bit pathetic a few months ago, sometimes the rematches often get a different fight, a bit more technical, because the guys know each other a little bit better. Do you both anticipate it will be a war like last time or a different fight? Daryl first, please.
On my behalf, it's a war. That's what I do best. I go to war. I've seen him say that. One minute he's going to box me, now he's telling me he's going to do this, he's going to do that. I don't think he knows what he's doing, to be honest. He wouldn't be fighting me again if he knew what he was doing. So, let's go. Let's decide. Let's go to war.
He's obviously been watching me, following me online. Like I said, we'll take it to him. I feel like I won the fight last time, so I'm going to do anything different.
You're an idiot.
I feel like I genuinely won the fight. So let's have it. I'm saying I'm ready. I've trained hard. I'm prepared.
As stupid as he sounds, but seriously.
Any more?
Any questions?
Okay, sorry, have you got another one?
You really think you won that fight?
Do I really think I won that fight?
You really think you won it?
Where's the belt, bro? Where's the belt?
Well, I think it might have been a Box Nation.
Nah, I don't think so.
Box Nation.
It's not my fault.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the reason why I didn't think you won it.
Okay. Oh, so if it was on a different show, you would have thought I won. Yeah?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. You're making a lot of sense in here.
We'll make sense some
Yeah, of course it will. You said that last time, that's what I'm saying. You lot said this last time. And you're
right. We do a decision. You're right. You won. That's why I kept quiet.
Cool.
Keeping quiet.
Right,
you
cool.
won.
That was the first thing I said.
After two fights, yeah. If we're going to win one, win the second one. Right?
Ah, cool.
After the fight, I congratulated Daryl. I said congratulations, you won the fight. Judges thought he won. One judge thought I won. Two judges thought he won. He won the fight. He got the decision. What can I say? It was a close fight. I thought I won. The judges thought he won. I congratulated him. I'm not a sore loser. I congratulated him. But on Saturday night, it's going to be something different. So we'll see.
You can board off your head and make yourself look a bit tougher when you look in the mirror, but we all know what it is, bro. We all know what it is. I'm everything that you want to be. That's what it is.
You don't want to be ugly.
You want to be tough? You're gonna call me ugly compared to that? You're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. Listen, you know what I'm saying?
All right,
Let's just get it on, man. Let's just do it on. I said the same thing last time. I don't want to, let's get it on. Let's just do it.
Right, plenty of opportunities coming up for one-on-ones. All the guys are here and we'll do the interviews which all of you will require. Also, we're going to do some photographs, I think, up at the front for everybody, for various publications, websites, etc. Frank.
There's some great fights on there, some of the best talent in the UK and indeed the world. And there's a lot of 50-50 fights on there, and it's going to be an exciting night for the fans, because at the end of the day, it's the fans who matter.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time, and thanks to all the fighters. And now you can